Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat mga kababayan at ito nga mga ka-review natin, finish na. Sumabog na, matinding resback. Ayan po ang ating alamin mga kababayan patungkol sa video ito. Pero bago po natin simulan yan, palike naman po ng video ito. Malaking tulong po yan. Maraming salamat po mga kababayan. At ito na nga, simulan na po natin. Ito pong si Attorney Sheila Sison. Nako, hindi pinalampas mga kababayan, rumesback sa social media post ni Attorney Ligutan na pasok.
However, the more important manifestation that I would like to make today, Your Honor, is in relation to a social media post
Nako.
that I happened to see. And this was posted at 11:29 a.m. by one of the private prosecutors, Attorney Amando Virgil Ligutan. Post a principle all lawyers and law students know by heart. Misleading questions are not allowed even in cross-examination. Now, this was posted and picked up by Inquirer.net at 11:29 a.m. today. And I surmise that this has something to do with the exchange between the private prosecutor, Attorney Kapunan, and the defense counsel, Attorney Ferrer, on the matter of the cross-examination question that Attorney Ferrer asked the prosecution's witness. And I have here a transcript because I find it troubling that the private prosecutor would do this in the middle of a courtroom hearing. Because as far as I'm concerned, impeachment court is also a court of decorum. And the rules on impeachment under Rule 18 actually prohibits participants, especially lawyers, from commenting.
Ano mo talaga, mafe-feel mo talaga yung doon dito, no? Yung galit ni Attorney Sheila, no? Napipil ko po yung niya, ramdam ko yung galit niya dito kay Ligutan ngayon
About the merits of the case. Now, one may argue that this isn't about the merits of the case, that he probably was just commenting about what ought or ought not to do in a cross-examination, but we're not naive. What the private prosecutor is talking about, he's here. He can explain it. He can explain himself if the presiding officer so desires. But I really just find it in bad taste to do this at this time. And I think it is inappropriate to do that to a fellow member of the bar, because even as we sit on the opposing side of this hall, we remain to be both members of the bar, and as officers of the court, we owe each other respect, politeness, or even kindness. And it doesn't take one to be a lawyer to know that the first thing that our parents teach us to do is humility. Your Honor? No, I'm not yet done, Your Honor. In fact, I have asked one of our lawyers to review the actual transcript from the video that transpired between the prosecutor and Attorney Ferrer, and it would seem that in the heat of the exchange, or in the passionate exchange of the arguments between the prosecutor and Attorney Ferrer was not even actually referring to misleading questions as allowed, as implied in the social media post of Attorney Ligutan. In fact, it's here. The court can confirm this from a replay of the video. Attorney Ferrer, sinabi ho ba yan sa JC na dapat may mahuli? The witness answers, ang nakalagay po kasi sa JC under 4.8.2 ay proof of success. Attorney Ferrer, hindi. Sorry, Your Honor, please. Attorney Kapunan, let the witness answer, Your Honor. Mr. Presiding Officer, can the counsel be instructed not to stop the witness mid-sentence, Your Honor? Attorney Ferrer, Your Honor, please, can the witness be directed to just answer with yes or no? The counsel has her time to ask clarificatory questions later during redirect, Your Honor. And Attorney Kapunan, not all questions can be answered by yes or no. This is the meat of the contention of the argument between Attorney Kapunan and Attorney Ferrer. Attorney Ferrer responded, I am on cross, Your Honor, please. And the presiding officer said, counsels. Attorney Kapunan responded, never mind if you are on cross, Your Honor. There are limits to cross-examination. Misleading questions are not allowed on cross. This was the first time that the matter on misleading questions was actually raised by Attorney Kapunan. And Attorney Ferrer, for some reason, said they're allowed, but she was pertaining to the fact that the questions to which a yes or no answer may be answerable are allowed. She's not referring to misleading. I mean, you know, for in effect, Attorney Ferrer was only saying that leading questions are allowed on cross-examination, not misleading questions. And yet we have a private prosecutor immediately taking to social media and posting this, implying something against the defense counsel. We will not have this.
Your Honor, in the interest of fair play, may I request that the counsel for the panel of prosecutors, Attorney Virgil Ligutan, be recognized, Your Honor.
Unfortunately, counsel, no, the presiding officer will not allow that at this time. The presiding officer takes in advisement the manifestation of the counsel, the lead counsel for the respondent, because quite frankly, Honorable Luistro, I asked the clerk of court to monitor the public statements of the counsels of the parties this past week. And one side has been crossing the line many times. And in fact, the presiding officer is already in the process of drafting a ruling and a warning and an order pertaining to this. Because clearly, I can even name all of you who have been commenting on social media in violation of Rule 18 of the impeachment rules. But I will do that on Monday, perhaps, after taking advisement, the manifestation of the counsel for respondent. It's not really so much being cordial or nice or kind, but it's a basic violation of Rule 18. I already talked to the parties 2 weeks ago, reminding you that you might want to consider appointing spokespersons who are not part of the panel of prosecutors nor a private prosecutor, but you insist on maintaining that. So after 2 weeks, the court is constrained to make a decision and ruling on that. But we will do that on Monday with the permission of both counsels. Then we will hear you, counsel, and we will hear Attorney Ligutan prior to the court's ruling on the matter. But be advised that again, we have it all on tape. We have been monitoring everything.
yari kayo.
We may not enumerate it one by one, but we will make the corresponding ruling on Monday. Thank you for bringing that up, counsel. It gives me a reason to actually issue the ruling, which we have prepared and have been preparing the past few days. On Monday, Attorney Ligutan, we will hear you before we make the ruling.
Yari ka, Ligutan. Ayan na. Sobra kasi kayong ano eh. Ha? O, may rules pala na bawal yan. Maging respectful kayo. Di ba? Yan, mga kabayan. Sa social media, nakikita naman natin, mga karabi natin, kung sino talaga yung pinakamaingay, di ba? O, yung mga prosecutor, yung mga attorney ng yung counsel ng prosecution, mga kabayan, no? So, sila po ang pinakamaingay sa social media, pinatatamaan palagi yung kabila. So, yung kabila, tahimik lang. So, ngayon, hindi na talaga maatim, no? Ni Attorney Sheila Sison, nakapagsalita na siya, mga kabayan, parang hindi na to tama, di ba? Anyway, eto mga kabayan, panoorin din po natin to. Mga senador, eto naman, mga senador rumesbak sa aligasyon ng insertion. Pasok.
Wanted to say, but I wanted to sisegundahan ko yung sinabi ninyong dalawa kasi kanina lumapit talaga ako kay Senator Migs when I saw the news article na sabi ko, bakit malisyoso ang dating nito? Nasa kanya na yun to clarify anything, but by the mere fact that may mga projects that the senators are being asked to support in the budget is our job. So, like I said, sinabi mo yon na nandyan yung mga governors, nandyan yung mga from barangay captain, kung sana may CCTV tayo para pakita niyo yung dala ng mga, tawag na, sabihin ko, module, folder. Folder ng mga from barangay captain to mayors, governors, may dala ho yan kasi nagre-request po ng project. And pag malaki, ang gagawin pa nga nila, iisa-isahin nila, sabihin nila na, Senator ganito, phase 1 po kasi sa inyo, nahingi na ho namin kay ganito yung phase 2. Why do they do that? Because it is our job. It is in the Constitution. So, alam nila ngayon. Ngayon, none of us, I can speak. I guess I cannot speak for everyone na, but I'll speak for myself. We don't tolerate corruption here, but I also don't tolerate that there are insinuations that we're doing wrong when we make amendments that are called insertion. Tatawagin ng insertion, tapos may mali siya na. Whether that is the news outlets, people out there from within the Senate, I object to that. That is not fair because it is our job. Ngayon, kung meron
Minsan kasi talaga mga kabayan itong mainstream media, no? Itong mainstream media talaga ang no? Ang dahilan kung bakit yung mga Pilipino naging bad yung impression, no? Dito po sa tinatawag nilang amendments, no? Or insertion. Hindi naman po Hindi naman po masama 'yan kung tama, at sinusunod ng tama mga kababayan. Pero kasi pag ngayon sabihin natin, di ba? Whether you like it or not, pag narinig mo yung insertion, bad impression agad yung ano yan, corruption yan, insertion, corruption yan. Parang ganun ang lumalabas na ngayon eh.
kang ginawang malisyoso, di yun. Take it up in the proper forum. Pero to just say na si Senator JV, gamitin ko Senator JV kasi okay lang sa kanya to, nag-insert ng ganito karami dun sa sa PhilHealth. Oh, ginagawa namin yan. Because it's our job. Ilang beses ako tumayo dito na, alam niyo yan, kasi kayo po ang chairman, na nilaban ko na ibalik, i-insert. Yes, that is the word insertion. Ibalik, i-insert yung pondo ng PhilHealth na hindi binibigay. So if I call it an
Nag-zero
amendment,
pa
it's
nga eh.
okay. But if I call it an insertion, malisyoso yon, bawal yon. So that's what I'm saying. It is our job. So I thank the majority floor leader for standing up and sabi nga niya, ako na tumayo dito. Well, tumatayo din ako with you. Tumatayo din ako with you. And I never went to you for a project kasi nga tama, alam ko na si finance chairman, that was Sani Angara at that time, then Senate President last year, and now JV, nasasabi mong, may room ba tayo para sa more classrooms? May space ba na paghahanapan? Remember in our debate yesterday on no detention, di ba? I put on record na nagdagdag ako ng budget for zero balance billing. And then the Senate President properly reminded me na hindi lang para dun sa mga regional hospitals and LGUs, pati sa specialty hospitals. You reminded me. And then I even said nga na yung pilot project na I proudly, ako nag-initiate, ako talaga nag-insert nun. 1 billion for pilot project ng LGU Zero Balance kasi naaawa ako sa mga mayor na pinupuntahan sila ng mga pasyente na in-announce po Zero Balance. Ay, hindi kasi kami kakasama doon. So, maliit lang yung 1 billion, sobrang konti, but I put on record, it's a start. I could have asked you, because kayo, Mr. Senate President, ang chairman noon, sige na, lagyan mo to ng 10 billion because 10 is probably kulang sa dami ng LGU hospitals natin. But alam ko may hangganan, so sabi ko start ako 1 billion. Kaya sa next chairman natin ng Committee on Finance, abangan mo kasi pag nagamit ng maganda yung LGU zero balance budget na yon, baka dobling ko, tripling ko. At I'm sure papayag ka kasi full support din tayo sa bagong PhilHealth chairperson president, di ba? So ganun yun, that is the process. So thank you, Majority Floor Leader, for bringing this up. Sana nakadagdag lang tayo sa pagkakaintindi ng mga kababayan natin on what our jobs are. And again, no tolerance naman po tayo sa mga kasamaan at mga corruption naman dyan. We're just doing our job. Thank you.
Kaya mga kabayan, talagang mainstream media ang nagpapasama dito eh. No? Pinukpok kasi nila sa utak ng mga Pilipino na pag insertion, corruption, may corruption dyan. No? Sabagay, hindi rin naman natin masisisi yung mga kababayan natin, no? Sa kabila po ng mga nangyayari sa ating bansa, na puro kurakot nga talaga ang mga nangyayari, hindi mo talaga maiwasan kahit ano pang itawag mo dyan. Ayuda man yan, no? Insertion man yan, amendments man yan, di ba? Dahil sa nangyayari sa ating bansa, hindi mo sila masisisi na bawat ginagawa ninyo, bawat kilos ninyo, there is always a corruption. Kasi yun na po ang yun na po ang namamindset, no? Namamind condition ang mga kababayan natin ng mainstream media. Okay?
Thank you, Senator Pia. At ina-assure natin ang publiko na pagpapatuloy natin yung ating transparency measures, na yung mga request ay may request sa ahensya, may resolutions, merong mga plano, at lahat to i-upload ho natin sa website para makita ho ng ating mga kababayan. So we recognize Senator Raffy Tulfo, and then Senator Robin Padilla, and then Senator J.V. Ejercito.
Kasi nga po, Mr. President, nabanggit ni Majority Leader, Floor Leader, Senator Mix Zubiri, yung pangalan ko. Totoo yun. May nagreklamo po sa akin way back tungkol dun sa problema sa Bagong Taas, Valencia City, Bukidnon. Si Emmanuel Capul pumunta po sa programa ko all the way from Bukidnon to complain.
Sa programa mo
tungkol
naman. Wag na sa programa mo kasi ano yan eh. Diba? Sa opisina mo, sa bilang senador, palagi ka ng programa mo, pinaano mo lang yung ratings ng programa mo eh.
Dun sa mataas na dike.
Pero actually, pag iba kasi pag si Senator Pia yung nagsalita, no? Parang ramdam mo na, talagang wala talaga. Walang insertion to. Pero pag eto siguro yung pag eto nagsasalita, si Tulfo, parang feeling ko talagang meron eh. I mean, sa nangyari po sa Lotto, sa PCSO investigation, di ba? Sa nangyari po doon, hindi ko talaga makalimutan eh. Pag nakikita ko to, parang ang naiisip ko agad, corruption eh. Di ba?
Sa tabing ilog na umabot sa kabahayan at kalsada na umaapaw. Kasi ito yung hindi tinapos na project ng DPWH, biglang inabandona. Kasi nakatiwangwang lang. At maraming residente ang sobrang apektado dun sa problema ngayon. At nang inilapit ko nga po kay Senator Mix Zubiri, at that time, naayos po yung problema. Thank you, Senator Mix. Thank you.
We recognize Senator Robin Padilla.
Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo, at sa ating pinunong mayorya. Sana lang po sa susunod, pag kami nagsulat ng ganyan, ituloy-tuloy nyo naman kasi nabanggit kami, pero hindi nabanggit na FLR yon for later release.
Ayun.
We recognize the chairman of the Finance Committee, Senator J.V. Ejercito.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just to clarify also, and being the new chair of the Committee on Finance,
Dapat ipatawag dyan yung inquiry ba yun? Inquirer? Nako, dilawan pala, kaya pala.
I intend to continue the reforms that which the Senate President started when he was Committee on Finance Chair. Of course, as an offshoot because of that, the biggest scandal ever to hit in history. There were safeguards that were put in place and belt tightening and so on. But we will continue with the transparency and in the reforms that you started. Of course, everything will be available online as you. The BICAM will also be open. It will be an open BICAM. And we will also consult the civil society organization. So it will be a very open budget, and all the information that will be needed will be readily be available. This early, I already told our counterparts that we will not accept or allow insertions and amendments done in the BICAM. No? If ever it will be done here in open on the floor, on the amendment portions as we deliberate on the budget. So it will be allowed on floor, but during the BICAM, it will not be allowed anymore as you started, Mr. President. So be rest assured that we will make sure that the trust of the people we will regain the trust, no, because of the reforms that we have started last year with the budget here in the Senate. But again, it will be a balance. This early I will say that we need to strike a balance because the unintended consequence of that too much tightening and safeguards, no, that were instilled is that the economic progress, no, quite slowed down a bit because of the very slow public spending. So we really have to strike a balance. But be rest assured that transparency and the reforms will continue. And just like what the majority leader has said, no, there are Senator Pia and the rest. There are a lot of, it's part of our job as legislators to also to make amendments. So not all insertions, or amendments they call it, are bad. There are good amendments, in fact, no, especially for colleges, for state colleges, for health and other programs, no, that will really improve the quality of lives of our people. And just to give you an example, Senate President, one of our guests here, no, Governor Dato Tuca Mastura of the newly created Maguindanao del Norte. This is the first visit of the this is a historic visit because this is the visit when the newly created province, no, had their he's the governor of the newly created province, and I had the chance, Mr. President, to be the first national official to visit the newly created Maguindanao del Norte, and just the same, he came with the provincial admin, Dato Sharifuddin Mastura, Deputy Speaker, Attorney Ishar Mastura. And also, I just like to mention my classmate who I last saw in De La Salle in 1992, former Vice Governor Dustin Mastura is here also. He was the one, incidentally, Mr. President, who stood up and after the Ampatuan massacre, who fought the Ampatuans and won against them, no, as Vice Governor. So these people come from the very far-flung area of Maguindanao del Norte. Pupunta po sila dito sa Senado. May dalahong, halimbawa, may request po sila. Parang ang hirap naman ho nating tamblahin o tanggihan, di ba? Kung ang dami hong lumalapit sa atin, I'm sure a lot of our colleagues can relate na napakarami, lalo na yung mga nanggaling sa yung wala hong direktang flight, pupunta rito, may mga request, para ang hirap naman na hindi ho natin pakikinggan at pagbibigyan kung pwede naman. Okay? And I think I would agree that it's really part of the job, part of legislation. To improve our budget, and be rest assured that to my colleagues that although of course transparency will continue, reforms will continue, but of course we have to make sure also that we serve our purpose. That is, if there are projects or programs that will really improve the quality of lives of our people, then that's part of our job. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator J. Versito. We recognize Senator Joel Villanueva and then Senator Bongo.
Yes, Mr. President, thank you. I cannot help but associate myself to the statements made by our distinguished majority leader, our former Senate President, our Senate President himself, and Senator Pia, Senator Tulfo, Senator JV. Malicious is parang kulang po yung salitang malisyoso, Mr. President. Couple of days ago, si Senator Robin Hood at si Senator Bongo naman yung face of the day. Ngayon si Senator Migs. When we are just doing our job, I would like to put on record, Mr. President, that this representation worked very hard para dun sa budget noon sa Cancer Treatment Center dun sa Philippine General Hospital. Ilang bilyon po yun na pinagtulong-tulungan po nating mga senador. Yung pong pagtayo ng e-library sa Bulacan State University, pinagtulong-tulungan po natin yun. Tinulungan nyo rin po ako nun dito sa Senado. Kanina po kasama namin dito si President Jamison Tan ng BASI dito po sa San Rafael, Bulacan. Ikatlong building na yung itinatayo po dun sa Agricultural Center na yun. Last time, si Senator Kiko and I worked for the Bustos Dam. And unfortunately, kulang yung, wala na kaming makuhang pondo, kulang yung nagawa po namin. But we are working still to find more funds para i-finance ito. And that's the main reason why flooding is still a big problem in our beloved province. Tomorrow, I'll be visiting 11 towns, Mr. President. Lubog pa rin ho sa baha. And unfortunately, even, I'd be consistent with my advocacies in this same podium, Mr. President. Over and over again, since 2022, I've been talking about flood control. Nagpagawa po tayo ng feasibility study para po dun sa Bulacan. It took them 2 years.
So, malinis ka ngayon. Malinis na. Malinis na si Joel Villanueva, mga kababayan.
Mr. President, after 2 years, ask me if they were able to finish it. Yes, but are they implementing it? Hindi po. And, this is the main reason, Mr. President, that it pains me a lot as a legislator, as a member of this august chamber, na pag ginagawa mo yung trabaho mo, may isang malisyoso dyan na babatuhin ka ng putik, pero pag hindi ho nag-stick yung putik, hindi na sasabihin na tama naman pala yung ginawa mo, Mr. President. So,
Mali rin kasi. Kasi, like Tulfo, no? First impression, dito kay Joel Villanueva, mga kababayan. Ano yung first impression nyo? Mula nang bumaliktad siya. Diba? Wala bad impression na. Diba? Yung nakikita natin dito, kahit anong sabihin mo dyan, sa pagbaliktad mo, there is a justification, no? Na maybe, na totoo yung mga inaano sa'yo. Mga inaakusa. Dahil bumaliktad ka eh. Not like Senator Jingo Estrada, diba? Na nagpakulong talaga siya. Di ba alin ng makulong? Maninindigan ako. Diba? Pero ikaw parang alanganin kami sa'yo.
So I'd like to associate myself again with our colleagues here. And I can assure you, Mr. President, when Senator Zubiri was our Senate President, lahat po tayo, Mr. President, kinakausap niya kung paano natin isakatuparan yung ating mga advocacies sa iba't ibang ahensya ng ating pamahalaan. Hindi lang po sa DPWH but in every single agency na dumadaan po dito sa ating institution. So I just want to put that on record, Mr. President, and I still would like to congratulate our colleagues for doing their job and making this country a better nation than before. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Joel. We recognize Senator Bongo.
Mr. President, I just want to manifest in relation to the testimony of Mr. Bonoan earlier in the Sandigan Bayan. Mahirap po mag-react sa isang issue na hindi natin alam anong pinagbabasihan at ano ang motibo. Marahil mas mabuting ibalik ang tanong sa nagbanggit nito. Base sa sinabi ni Mr. Bonoan, parte ito ng kanyang testimony sa Sandigan Bayan kung saan may hinaharap siyang kaso. Siya ang akusado, it would be best that he focuses his defense on proving his innocence rather than dragging our work as legislators into their mess. Dinamay pa nga kami ni Senator Robin. Una sa lahat, kung may ipinasang listahan ng isang undersecretary niya sa kanya ng mga proyektong galing daw sa opisina ng isang senador, anong listahan ba ang tinutukoy niya? Dahil sigurado po ako na wala naman tayong ipinasang listahan kay Yusek Bernardo. Gayunpaman, kaysa lagyan agad ng mali siya, natural naman na magkaroon ng koordinasyon at komunikasyon ang legislatura at ehekutibo, lalo na sa pagdating ng pagbantay ng tamang implementasyon ng mga proyekto. Halimbawa, simula nang naging senador ako, madalas ko pong kinakalampag ang mga departamento kapag may hinaing, request o report na nakakarating sa aking opisina, lalo na sa malalayong lugar na hindi pa tapos yung proyekto, kailangan ng mga completion, mas bibigyan sana natin ng prioridad ito to make it operational at magamit po ng ating mga kababayan. Kasama na dyan ang mga nagpa-follow up ng mga proyektong pang local development na hindi na-aksyonan at na-implementan ng maayos. Parte naman dyan parte ng mandato ng senador bilang representanteng pang-nasyonal, yan naman po ang ating trabaho, na tugunan kaagad ito at maparating sa tamang ahensya. At hanggang ngayon, marami pa rin pumipila sa aming opisina hanggang ngayon na humingi ng tulong, hindi pa nila nagagamit ito, kailangan tapusin, kailangan mapondohan. Sir, unahin nyo naman yung lugar namin, fourth class municipalities kami, tulungan nyo kami. Hanggang ngayon po, lalong-lalo na po ako, ang hirap po ng buhay ko dahil naging parte po ako ng previous administration. Kailangan ko ng soft landing na mapaintindi sa kanila na hindi ko na po matutulungan gaya ng ginagawa natin ng mga nakaraang taon, nung 6 years po na sa previous administration ni Pangulong Duterte. Parte rin po ng trabaho natin na bantayan ang implementasyon ng mga batas na ating pinasa rito. Oversight function natin yon. Kasama na dyan ang national budget bawat taon, naglalaman rin po ng mga proyektong nasa ilalim ng DPWH. May mga tinatawag na continuing projects na kailangang mapondohan. Mayroon rin mga proyektong nasa GAA kung nung nakaraang taon na hanggang ngayon, yun nga po ang isa sa mga problema, no. Kami pa yung nadamay dito na sa totoo lamang po, kami yung less privileged dito. At alam naman po ng mga kasamahan natin yan for the past 3 years na ako mismo, yung mga proyekto nga po na nabilong po dun sa FLR, yung for later release at hindi nare-release yung pondo at hindi na uumpisahan. Ibig sabihin yan, ako po yung kami, yung mga less privileged dito sa Senado. As early as 2023, yung mga proyekto ko po ay, yung mga amendments natin hindi pa nare-release dahil identified po ako sa nakaraang administrasyon.
Yun.
At ganoon naman talaga ang buhay. Sa anumang, unang-una po, sa anumang listahan na yan, pakiklaro lang po na napakaraming listahan talaga ng proyekto na dapat aksyonan ng DPWH sa ngayon. Pero hindi ito nangangahulugan na konektado po ito sa flood control o korupsyon. So bago lagyan ng kulay ang pagbanggit ng pangalan ko ni Senator Robin sa kanyang testimonya, bigyan sana ng tamang konteksto dahil mula noon hanggang ngayon, wala naman tayong ibang pakay kundi magtrabaho at magserbisyo lang po sa ating mga kababayan, lalong-lalo na po yung mga nangangailangan. At yung mga lugar na nangangailangan, yun talagang gusto nating unang matulungan. Ang aking pagrepresenta at pagbigay boses sa taong bayan ay mandato ko po. Hindi yan pangingialam o pag-iimpluwensya sa maling paraan sa trabaho ng iba, lalo na po sa ekotribo.
So yan mga kababayan, ano po ang inyong opinion, reaksyon patungkol dyan? Just comment down below mga karibin natin. Maraming salamat po.